Welcome back, everyone, to JFace Games. Today we're looking at the RPG Errant. So for those that don't know, well, we're kind of looking at the RPG Errant. And for those that don't know, I'm working on a RPG game. We borrow some ideas from other games. We try to take inspiration from them. And in the end, the point of this channel is that I hopefully will have a finished product by the end of this, and that you all will at least try it out. So, what is Errant? Errant is a newer RPG, I believe. And the main reason I'm bringing this game up is because there's a different topic here that I really want to talk about, which is position versus impact. This is another game that part of the main mechanic is position versus impact, right? What is that? Well, if you've watched the video or if you've ever played any of the Forged in the Dark system, you'll know that Forged in the Dark, the system there, has this concept of position versus effect, I think it is. And so it's the same concept here, right? Where position for this is, in this game, position is either shaky, risky, or dire. And I think in Forged in the Dark, it is like controlled, risky, and desperate. That's the positions. And then impact or effect. So now just make this position. Impact or effect. In this game, it's strong, fair, weak. And in the other game, it's standard. Ooh, I don't remember the other ones. Something along those lines. Standard, minimal, or you get the idea, right? And so the whole basis of this mechanic is understanding what's at risk, right? Where when I'm going to do something, if my position is determining what the effect is on me, and my impact or my effect is determining what the effect is on the opponent, right? So what's great about this is it's all laid out, right? You understand the risk reward of whatever you're doing because it's right there in the DC, so to speak, or in the creation of the action you're performing, right? If I'm doing something in a controlled scenario, I know that I'm going to be okay, probably. But if I have a weak effect, or weak impact, then I know that what I'm doing isn't really budging the needle much, right? So it's a really great concept in terms of when I first played Forged in the Dark. I already talked about this. I fell in love with this concept. But the question becomes, why did I fall in love with it? And I think that it's because this is a very explicit system, right? Meaning that it's all out there, right? It's explicit system in terms of position versus impact. Whereas other games, this exists. It's just implicit, right? Ooh, implicit, right? So an implicit system concept would be, I'm just going to use 5e because it's what I played a lot of, even though there are other games that probably have this built in just as much. But 5e, or D&D in general, is an implicit system. It's tactical, and it's up to the player to understand their position and effect on their own. They should be able to digest that based on the rules of the game. So if I can flank this person and I use reckless, no, if I flank this person and I use rage, and my defending paladin is standing next to me, okay, I should be controlled, and I'm raging, so I should be able to have a strong impact. Like the math of this, or the understanding of risk reward, is more on the player to unpackage because they understand the system itself, right? I've got cover here, and I've got this type of spell, and blah 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 blah, right? They've got this kind of vulnerability, so I think that this is, this was nice for me to think about, because after reading this explicit design, I thought, holy crap, everyone needs to have this kind of system in your game, right? Because it's very explicit, or because it resonated with me, because I'd never seen that before, it being explained to me. But I think that that's really great for a story game, or a theater of the mind game, right? I think that it really resonates well with a theater of the mind or a story game. But I think the second you become more of a tactical game, if the more tactical you go, the more you potentially want an implicit system. Because if tactics is where you're headed, I think the reward for the player is being able to come up with that on their own, because that's the tactics, right? If I know for a fact, if I just say this and me and the DM determine that it's a controlled and strong effect, then it's like, I don't know. I don't know if this is coming off the way I expect it to, but I wonder if implicit systems, they bake it in your AC, your cover, the damage dice you're using, etc., and therefore you understand it more, or you have to understand the system more to bring out that implicit nature. I don't know. This is a short video, just because I'm rambling on this concept of position versus impact. I hope no one was coming here just to hear about Errant. I think it's a cool system, but that was the biggest thing for me, is that once I read that, I was like, oh man, another game that's using this position versus effect, position versus impact system, and I wanted to think about that more. So, anyways, I hope you're all doing well. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, leave some comments, join the Discord channel, and we'll talk to you soon.